Hey, what's up, guys? I'm Matt from A Change of Scene. I wanted to switch things up today and talk a little bit about myself and how I fell in love with the alternative music scene. You could call this my love letter to the scene. Like a lot of kids, my earliest memories of music come from my parents. My dad is a classic rock fan and always had rock radio on, like Rush and Led Zeppelin. Car rides, he would always quiz me and my brother, like, who sings this song? What band is this? That's probably where I got the nerdy part of my music passion from. It's not enough to just like a song. I need to know who wrote it, who produced it, did they make anything else I like? When I was 9, my mom bought me my very first album. Actually, it was a tape cassette. It was the Presidents of the United States of America's self-titled album, one that had Peaches on it. I still remember going to the record store with her and picking it out. My mom has always been an alternative rock and a pop fan, which is probably why I still love pop music to this day. She always had the newest albums around, like Seal, Cher, and Savage Garden. I had no shame singing along to all of them. She did also buy me my first Green Day album. She bought me Dookie, and I instantly fell in love with punk music. I would sit next to the radio for hours, waiting for a song to come on that I wanted to record. And when it played, you had to real quick hit the button to record it onto tape. There's nothing worse than when the DJ started talking before the song was over. You have to wait 2 more hours for the song to play again so you can try and record it. Once I got it, I had the perfect mix, and I would play it over and over again on my Walkman. Eventually, TRL came around on MTV, and I would record VHS tapes of the top 10. I got into bands like Blink and Korn and Limp Bizkit. They played a lot of pop as well, and I got into bands like The New Radicals and 311. I loved it. It actually made me really self-conscious one time when a friend of mine in high school said I was gay for listening to 311. In hindsight, I should have been like, fuck off, dude. Go listen to what makes you happy. Video games were starting to feature popular music a lot around this time, too. I'd spend hours playing Tony Hawk's Pro Skater or Twisted Metal, listening to the soundtracks on there. Stuff like Goldfinger or Dead Kennedys. I'd also play along to my own CDs, like Rob Zombie or The Offspring. Eventually, I got into Eminem through TRL or Napster. I became a huge fan of hip-hop because of him. Dre to Pac to Wu-Tang. And then other New York groups like Lox and Dipset. I was completely hooked for most of my high school years on rap. I still love hip-hop culture to this day. It wasn't until I moved to Arizona during my senior year of high school and met a new group of friends who introduced me to the alternative rock that was out at the time. My friend Eduardo showed me the band Under Oath. I had never heard anything like it before. Screaming, but with melody and choruses that were like pop music. My buddy Eddie showed me the band AFI. How this sound could have 80s emo influences and be catchy enough to have regular play on MTV. Boy Nate showed me Taking Back Sunday, which to me was just like 90s alternative rock with screaming. From that moment on, I was hooked on the scene. It was perfect timing too, because MP3 players and iPods had just come out. I could upload thousands of songs like The Used, Brand New, Census Fail, Fall Out Boy, Finch. It was also a weird time for peer-to-peer music sharing. In my dorm, everyone's iTunes was uploaded to the same server. I could literally go in and copy everyone's music from their own library. I found so many bands this way. From Autumn to Ashes, Good Charlotte, Matchbook Romance, and Something Corporate. Even being college age, I had never been to a concert before. I finally went to my first show to see Greeley Estates. They played at Studio 111 in Flagstaff. This dingy little venue downtown. It was fucking awesome. I fell even more in love with the scene. I wanted to listen to every band that made music like this. I started going to more shows and really appreciating local bands, some of which were blowing up at the time, like Jimmy Eat World, The Format, Scary Kids Scaring Kids, and A Change of Pace, which is who I got the name of this channel from. I have been obsessed with alternative music and alternative culture for 25 years now. You can ask my wife, who I bonded with over music when we first started dating. Her and I are both huge Third Eye Blind fans, and their show was one of our first dates. Since then, I've dragged her to many hardcore shows too, and she always comes through for me. Thanks, Nikki. One time, I flew my brother and my best friend across the ocean just to go to a show with them. We all love the same shit, and we saw A Day to Remember in downtown Honolulu. We stood outside for an hour waiting to meet the band. And we did. Music has quite literally saved my life. When I quit drinking 2 years ago, in the early months, I was struggling, and I considered relapsing. Instead, I would just turn on something like Haste the Day and just fucking jam out. I have no shame having a good time and just dancing around my house. Or I'd go try and learn a song on guitar until the cravings pass. I still do that to this day when I struggle. Whether it's going to shows, finding new music, listening to Dying Is Your Latest Fashion for the 4,000th time, learning songs on guitar, or making content about music, it will always be a passion of mine. This page and this channel is my way of giving back to the scene that has made my life so much better. Ultimately, I just want to share that with you guys. I want to make connections with people who also want to be a part of this community. Thank you for checking out my channel. I appreciate all my friends and family who've stuck with me, making some cringe-ass content, and for pushing me to be better when it comes to following this passion of mine, which is writing and recording. Who knows what it'll turn into in the future, but right now, I'm just looking forward to making some new friends along the way.